calling from the Trib. I'd like to confirm.
Hey, I've been getting the runaround for 2 hours. I'm
Well, can you
coming
tell
up.
me approximately how much money was missing? Was it over $1,000?
Neat jeans. Where do you have them done?
They just kind of happen.
Ooh, I can tell a lot about a guy on a first date by the kind of car he drives, and I think I'm gonna like you. Great wheels.
Yeah. That's mine. It's okay. It's open.
Oh, great sound system.
Vehicle fire.
I think you're a little off the station.
Oh, these are scanners.
Oh, great. Well, what are we gonna do? You like disco?
Wait a second. I got something better. First, we're going to a fire.
Oh, that's cool.
This won't take long. Listen to the radio.
Which one?
You're good, Lou. We've got to play more.
Yeah. That the punishment for playing good?
It's a great game for working out the frustrations of the job, isn't it?
Frank, I go on my job to work out the frustrations of trying to learn this game.
How do you handle it when the pressure's built up and you just feel like yelling at the people who work for you?
I yell at the people who work for me.
It's very healthy. Excuse me, my beeper.
Do you always have that thing go off when your opponent makes a great return?
You'd have heard it before if you ever returned one. I'm sorry, Lou. I gotta go.
You a doctor?
No, fireman.
You make house calls?
Only if they're burning. Actually, I work out of the Newton Fire Marshal's office. I investigate arson. I'll see you later.
Check with the corporal. I'm not sure.
Oh, God, my baby!
Yeah.
93 lead.
Look, bear with me here. I gotta get this film back to the paper.
Okay, and then we better get you to your place so you can get all those wet clothes.
I don't need to change.
Let's go anyway.
What about the disco?
Forget the disco.
Mrs. Pinchon, something wrong?
Good morning, Mr. Grant. Why must your mind work that way? Just because I dropped by my city room doesn't mean something dreadful has happened.
Morning, Miss Pinchon. Lou, what's wrong?
This fire story caught my eye.
Oh, that was just a routine fire. Animal was in the neighborhood. He got some good art, so we ran the picture.
Well, the reason I'm down here is because that picture is of a building I've spent a great deal of time in. Not recently, of course. When I was a little girl, that building was in a very fashionable section. My father built it.
Too bad it had to go like that.
Well, it's not just the personal memories that make it seem such a loss. The architects were pioneers of that era.
Before everything in Southern California became stucco and glitter.
Precisely. Now, I know you gentlemen have your priorities, but could you send a reporter by as a sort of follow-up to see if the building was burned beyond repair or if they're going to be able to salvage it?
I'll put someone on it right away.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, and Mrs. Pinchon, stop by any time. What's wrong? Nothing. Billy!
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Can this building be saved?
Can be? Yes. Will be? No. This building isn't dead yet, but the disease it's got is terminal.
I don't understand.
Okay. There's enough of the basic structure left to rebuild, but it won't happen. This fire is just part of a pattern of decline. The next phase is the looters. Within the next days and weeks, they'll strip the burned-out apartments of the plumbing, pipes, knobs, sinks, bathtubs, toilets, you name it.
Can't the police stop them?
You mean post a 24-hour guard on every burned-down building in the city? It would take an army.
So what happens?
Eventually, it'll be torn down. Fire moved pretty fast through here. You can tell by the glazed alligator burn pattern.
Where did the fire start?
Basement where the deepest char is. Then it moved up the stairwell. Fire moves up.
Was it arson?
Well, most arson fires are pretty obvious. Flammable liquids, for example, leave a pattern. I don't see that here, but of course you've got a neighborhood here with junkies and old folks and homosexuals and poor people.
All people who obviously like to set fire to the places where they live.
I'm just saying that there's a lot of carelessness and indifference. Al, let me help you with that. Look, miss, I'm kind of busy right now, so if you need something else, you can catch me later, or you can talk to my boss, Frank Durning. He's the guy who assigned me to this.
Because I'm telling you, I know what started this fire. Somebody set it on purpose.
How do you know?
God, somebody called me last night and told me to get out of the building. So I know this wasn't an act of God. Because if God wanted to warn people, he wouldn't use the telephone, huh?
Do you have any idea who it was?
Who wants to know?
My name's Billy Newman. I work for the Tribune.
Yeah? Well, I might know some names. Only I can't say them. Look, I got children to think about.
What's your name?
That don't make no difference either.
That woman thinks somebody started the fire. It even sounds like she might know who did it.
Sure, because it was probably her. I'm kidding. I'll talk to her. 5 to 10, she won't talk to me.
Remember Eddie Redfield back in Michigan?
Sure, the Detroit Dynamo. Sports writer on the Free Press.
Gone, heart attack.
That's why you shouldn't read trade journals, Charlie. It'll only depress you.
Oh, here's another one. This'll really get you.
No, Charlie.
Larry Abel.
Jeez. Dumb, good-looking Larry Abel. Too bad.
Not dead. Went into broadcasting, became an anchorman back east. Makes 6 figures a year.
That's awful.
I may have something.
Talk about depressing.
What'd I say?
Nothing, Billy. You just picked the wrong time to come in here brimming with youthful enthusiasm. What can we do for you?
Well, first of all, you can forget about Mrs. Pynchon's building. It's had it.
Too bad.
Yes, but while I was driving around the area, I saw several other sites of burned buildings, so I did some checking. There have been 12 apartment house fires in that area of Newton in the last 19 months.
Is that a lot?
A major fire every 6 weeks.
Seems I hear sirens all the time.
It's 5 times the average for other communities in this area.
What cause the fires?
Most of them are listed as accidental. For the others, they avoid the word arson. Rubbish in the building ignited by unauthorized person or persons unknown.
In other words, arson.
No, they're not saying that. A passing vagrant could have tossed a lighted cigarette in the rubbish. So it's negligence. It's not an intentional crime.
I've got this strange instinct that tells me you don't buy that.
A woman at the fire told me that she's positive that it was lighted on purpose. And when I started asking her questions, she backed off fast.
So what have we got here? Possible arson epidemic. No facts, only Billy's suspicion.
And youthful enthusiasm.
I'd like to try to find a source in Newton. It could take some time.
Well, isn't there somebody on the paper who already knows someone there?
There is.
Who?
Me. I know a guy in the fire department, in fact. I don't know him well. I'll talk to him.
You may work a source yourself?
Why not? I'm the one he knows. Maybe he won't talk to anyone else. Maybe he won't talk to me.
Now don't push in the beginning.
Okay, Billy.
He may not give you too much at first. You have to be kind of patient.
Billy, I covered beats for 16 years. I think I can handle the source.
Right, sure, of course. You'll do fine. If you need anything...
Billy.
Right. Okay, great.
Oh, that was better than last time, huh?
Yeah, 35 minutes and your beeper hasn't gone off yet.
That doesn't happen so often.
What is it you do then? Investigate fires for arson?
My men do.
Arson is pretty hard to prove, I guess, huh?
It's a misconception. Arson isn't hard to prove. It's just hard to pin on somebody.
You have to catch the guy running from the scene with a smoking match.
Yeah. Not quite that bad. It's just that our caseload is so heavy and people somehow don't realize what a vicious crime arson is. If I used the word killer, that would make people take notice. You're a newsman. You know what fire does to people. People die in fires. Firemen, kids. Even with a man who uses a gun, the destruction is limited. It's fairly known. The guy who puts a match to a building, he could be unleashing a Holocaust, and neither is a worse soul on earth than someone who would do that. You shouldn't get me going. I'm not rational on the subject.
I think you're making a lot of sense. In fact, maybe you could help me out with something. The Tribune is following up on last night's fire in Newton. One of our reporters has this crazy feeling that all the burned out buildings in the area might be part of a pattern.
Why is that crazy?
Like a pattern of arson. We checked the reports. The fires are listed as accidental.
Yeah?
Where do we go from there?
Check again. Look at the ownership of the building. Look for names.
What are you saying, Frank? What's the story?
Your newspaper's gonna have to do this on its own.
Oh, come on.
We'll
Frank,
see where you go with that. It's gotta be my way, Lou. I've got my reasons.
Okay.
I think it's your servant.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Oh, I need a cup of coffee.
Oh, bye.
After digging around the Hall of Records for 3 days, I feel all dry and dusty.
You find anything?
Yeah. The information we got from your source didn't exactly point us to it. Officially, they're not calling it arson.
I know.
But I did find out something. The name of the wheeler dealer who owns the burned out building.
Who?
Ella Schmidt. She sounds like a high-powered speculator.
What makes you think so?
Well, for one thing, she sold and rebought the building 3 times in the last year and a half, each time for more money. I've got her address. It's somewhere in the Wilshire Center district.
Why don't you pay her a visit?
On my way. Is Miss Schmidt in?
Mrs. Schmidt, yes, I am.
Do you own a building at 1520 Dayton in Newton?
Yes.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about it. My name is Billy Newman of the Tribune.
Oh. Well, come in. Would you care for a cup of tea? I just made some. The real kind, not with the bag.
That would be nice.
And it's still piping hot. Tea must be hot, mustn't it?
Yes.
Here you are.
Thank you. I guess the insurance will cover the damage from the fire.
Yes, the insurance.
Who's your insurance carrier?
Oh, well, if you really want to speak about the building, you'll have to ask my lawyer. I have his card somewhere here. He handles all the business aspects. Yes, here it is. Mason Cunningham.
Yes, I am the attorney for Mrs. Schmidt from that venture.
I wanted to ask you a few questions about...
Let me interrupt you for a moment, Miss Newman. You're talking about a private business here. And I don't have to comment, and I won't comment now. Please don't take that personally. But I've been doing this long enough to know that the press always manages to distort what you say, and then I regret the time that I've spent.
I know you're busy, but...
That's right. I am busy. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
So we dug around. We found this tycoon who owns the building. Only Grandma Walton is playing a part. So we got to this lawyer Cunningham, and he's stonewalled. It's a dead end.
He's checking ownership.
How we did that?
Look at the other burnt buildings. Look for names.
What are we gonna find?
Whatever you find.
Come on, Frank. This is frustrating. It's not fair to have us groping in the dark if you know something. Do you know something?
Nothing I can give you, Lou. I have my suspicions, but I do know you're not groping in the dark. You're just going to have to make these painful steps yourself in order to build a case.
Build a case? I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
I'm trying to. You don't know my problems.
I think I'm trying to help you with your problems.
You can. Through the trip. You make people more aware. A little public indignation can help.
But where are we going?
Fire moves up. It starts at the bottom and moves up. That's what you're going to have to do.
Each card is a burned-out building in Newton.
Is there a pattern here? Do they all have 3 6s in the address or something?
If there's a pattern, I don't see it.
What about this owner, George Kelly? I see his name in a couple places here.
Is that a pattern?
I don't know.
It's getting really complicated. I could use another mind on this.
Good idea. Rossi.
Not that mind.
George Kelly?
Pardon me?
Are you George Kelly?
No, I think I saw George going over there.
Thanks. Hey, I'm looking for George Kelly.
I'm Kelly.
I'm looking for a man who owns a building in Newton. It was burned in a fire a few months ago.
Yeah?
So I found him?
What is it you want?
Just to ask a few questions. Can I give you a hand with that?
No.
Well, I'll just walk along with you then.
You can walk along, but if you want to talk about the building, you better call my lawyer.
And what is his name, sir?
Mason Cunningham. Good ride, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, George.
Cunningham.
Step aside. Harlow Carp. They said you were from the Tribune. You wanted to talk to me. I just have a feeling you're not the food editor.
That's right.
Good. Then I won't have to lie.
I wanted to talk to you about a building. It had a fire about 6 months ago, and you're listed as the owner.
Out in Newton.
That's right.
Yeah, terrible. Terrible fire. The whole thing went.
But the insurance paid for it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But look, I don't involve myself in the day-to-day running of the property. I'm much too busy working on my career. You want to know more, you just talk to my lawyer, Mason
Cunningham.
You know him?
Not real well.
Great guy. Say, you had lunch. I'll fix something special.
No thanks. I'm kind of short on time.
Hey, I understand. I'd only hear myself.
Hey, no admittance.
Sorry, Joe.
I'll take that. Boy, security's really a joke around here. We've got to run it tight as shit.
Relax, Rossi. We haven't broken the enemy code here. So far, all we've got is a bunch of names, dates, and addresses which don't add up to anything.
Okay, one more time. Each of these 12 cards represents 12 buildings, all in Newton, all of which have had a fire in the last 19 months.
And all of which are owned by Ella Schmidt, the housefrau, George Kelly, the stable boy, or Arlo Karp, the fry cook.
That's what's great about this country. Anybody can be an entrepreneur. We don't have squires and landed gentry.
No, but we do have a few robber barons. I've got a little clue.
Why don't you write it on a piece of paper and fold it up so we can all have fun guessing what it is?
Howard Davis.
Anybody we know?
Nope. He just happens to be one of the major partners in the Claremont riding stables where Kelly is the groom. He owns the diner in Santa Monica where Arlo Karp works. And Ella Schmidt, it turns out, is his mother-in-law. Howard Davis.
You call this evidence against Howard Davis? To me, it looks like the case history of an unlucky man.
Unlucky. The man's a Job. Only Job wasn't insured for twice the assessed value of his property. I'm talking about a dozen fires here. How can that be coincidence?
Well, Davis has interests all over the city. In this neighborhood, he's been hit by a lot of fires, sure. But he's also been the first and the loudest to complain.
Hey, Dave, want to go to lunch? Oh, I guess you don't.
Billy Newman of the Tribune, Frank Durning.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Let me show you something. Reports by Howard Davis on small fires. Complaints about vandalism and negligence in the neighborhood.
He was covering himself.
Listen, you're talking about one of the roughest areas in the city. That place is a fireman's nightmare. Those 50-year-old wooden structures are fire traps, and the people that live in there don't exactly have pride of ownership.
If investments in that area are so unappealing, why does a smart man like Davis keep his money there?
Good point. Most of the city's businessmen have pulled their money out of the area and left it to deteriorate. Davis has hung in. I don't think that's something you criticize a guy for.
Oh, I'm going to do more than criticize. I think we've got some pretty good evidence.
All you've done is level a lot of vague charges against a respected business leader. Arson is a tricky business, Miss Newman. Why don't you leave its investigation to the professionals?
Is it doable? They're all doable. Have I ever let you down? I've been trying to quit.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
You find pain amusing, Donovan?
Not on most people, but you managed to bring it off.
I don't know. In the old days, it took brains and guts to sweat a source, but it didn't make you all sore like this.
Because in the old days you were younger.
Because in the old days, we met in bars. City desk. Yeah, Frank. I'm terrific. No, that's not going too well. In fact, it's sort of dead-ended. At lunchtime today? No, it's just that I thought you might be a little tired. Of course I'll be there. Yeah. Can we meet in a jacuzzi?
Got here faster than I thought you would.
Look, Frank, we thought we were making good progress on this story. But we bring our evidence to the fire department and they turn us off.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised? Well, I was surprised. Maybe I wouldn't be if you told me a little bit more about what's going on.
Look, Lou.
Why aren't you in shorts?
Because I didn't come to play. I hope to catch you in the locker room. Listen, Lou, we don't have much time. There's a report in here. It's the results of the fire department investigation into the arson problem.
Frank, we know about the arson problem. I don't need to read a report. I need to know why, when we try to investigate arson in Newton, we run into a brick wall.
That's what this report is about. It's an internal investigation that's been going on since January. It might have some of the answers you've been looking for.
Why are you telling me this?
You'll find out.
You mean you've been sitting on all this since January?
Look, Lou, the report just came out. The only reason you're getting it is because my department let me down. I'm really disturbed by what's in this report. Now, why don't you just read it instead of standing here growling at somebody who's trying to help you?
I'll read it as soon as I can.
Better make it fast. I had to sneak it out. It's got to go back with me at the end of the lunch hour.
How long is the report?
400 pages.
Oh. Beautiful. Where are the coffee boys?
Off to lunch. Forgot your pants.
Rossi, Billy.
What's that?
Don't ask questions. Just do what I tell you. We have to make copies of this. Use the machine in Mrs. Pinchon's office and the one in sports. Billy, we have to use the machines in advertising. We have 40 minutes. No, 38 minutes. Let's go.
What is it?
I think it's Lou's memoirs.
I hope I get the war years.
How you coming?
Almost done.
I'm telling you, it's got to be down here with Lou.
You finished?
We're finished. We just need the back cover to this volume.
I gave it to you.
I don't have it.
We looked all around both machines.
I'm finished.
So am I. Let's just get that cover.
It's got to be down here.
I gave it to you, Rossi. Come on.
It'll be here. Don't worry. It has
better
to
be,
It
Rossi.
has to be.
Oh, face it, it's just not here.
I can't turn the report back without that cover. You found it?
Not exactly. I found this in the library.
Aren't they going to be a little suspicious when we give it back with the title, A Boll Weevil Problem in the Central Valley?
Not if we use the back cover. The color's close.
Not really.
Rossi?
Well, if the light doesn't hit it.
All right, you three start reading the report. I gotta get this back.
He goes and plays ball. We have to stay home and do homework.
Okay, now you've each read different parts of the report. You compared notes. Now what's the verdict?
Mario Puzo has nothing to worry about.
The man isn't asking for a literary opinion, Rossi.
Apparently there was an arson for profit ring operating in Newton.
Arson for profit?
Sure. It works like this. All these buildings in a dying neighborhood get sold and resold back and forth. For example, I buy them cheap, I sell them to Rossi, he sells them back to me.
We use dummy owners to disguise what's going on. I use my mother-in-law, she uses her maid.
So the value of the property keeps going up. 60,000, 80,000, 150,000. The bank gives me a loan to make the purchase, and the place is insured for its new market value.
Then, mysteriously, there's a fire. The insurance is paid off with a profit of like $90,000, which the two of us split.
Why do the insurance companies pay off?
I can answer that one. See, in this state, there's a law that if the company doesn't pay off in 90 days, they have to pay a fine for bad faith.
And the insurance company doesn't lose because the cost is passed on to all of us in higher premiums.
Here's the real kicker. The ring was paying off 2 high officials in the arson division of the fire department.
That's why Frank wasn't in a position to tell us more.
And 2 men who were on the tape were retired by the department, had full pension. Conclusion of the report is that the bad apples are gone.
For now. What about your Howard Davis?
Well, he's mentioned in the report, along with some of his friends. And they suspect him. The investigation's continuing.
So, what we have had handed us is a cover-up in the Newton Fire Department. Mr. Grant, I understand this material came from a source of yours. It's not a bad piece of work.
Thank you. What do you say, Mrs. Pinchon? Do we publish?
By all means, publish.
Don't forget that. Good morning, Chuck. Hi, Adam.
Good digging on that arson ring, Lou. Ever want to swing over to Financial? I'll find a spot for you.
Are you kidding? I'll never give me up. What a great feeling, huh, Donovan? The whole city room gets turned on when we break a story like this. I think everyone feels proud.
I feel proud. You did a good job. Want me to send you out on another story?
Congratulations. You did all right.
What can I do for you, Billy?
I located another Howard Davis building in the name of his secretary, same section of Newton.
Okay, this is good. And this means we have a potential fire here in 6 or 8 months if it follows pattern.
Here's the address.
1812 Dayton. 1812? This sounds familiar.
Isn't that a war you fought in?
Good work, Billy.
Morning, Chief.
Not if you've read the Tribune.
Just been going over it.
For clues as to who the Fink was?
Haven't found any.
Well, something caught my eye. They say in that paper that the investigation started last January. And yet, it's kind of odd because I really didn't get the go-ahead until late March. Although I told you about an investigation in January, I believe.
January? I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure either, Frank. That's why I had all 8 copies of the report recalled.
And?
Well, this one's interesting. You know, we've been waiting 3 years for a Xerox machine. In time we've had to make do with that old mimeograph machine. And yet, Frank, 5 pages of this report is Xerox, like somebody copied it. Maybe somebody at the trade. But there's this, the back cover. Just a slightly different color from the rest. All in all, I'd say that this copy of the report did a little bit of traveling. This is your copy of the report, Frank.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
What's good here? The scotch.
2 scotches.
So, how is it over there, Frank?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. Did you watch the game last night?
Yeah, pretty good game.
Was a good game.
Yeah. Look, Frank, we're following this thing up with stories every day.
I read the papers.
And the public's starting to respond. We're getting letters. There's talk of a task force, reorganizing your department on the LA model.
Right, talk, no action. Oh, no, it's good, Lou. It's good. I'm sure people are more aware.
You getting a lot of heat?
No. Oh, more like ice. Getting the old freeze treatment. Nobody said a word to me in a week. I become like a piece of furniture, a desk or a chair. You know, it's not so bad. I miss a lot of lousy jokes.
Yeah, it sounds like a great work environment.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, it's not just work. Yeah, they don't call it home. Makes it rough on Sheila. Most of our friends were with the department. Other kids, they know something's wrong, but they don't understand what. How can they? Tell you, Lou, I don't know how much longer I can stick it out.
I feel like I did this to you.
Oh, no, you didn't do it. Come on. Huh. I thought you said the scotch was good here.
Bloody Mary. Hot. Extra hot.
Why don't you sit over there? I'll send it over to you.
Sure.
You a friend of Nick's?
Uh-huh. I heard you did good work.
Top of the line. That's why my prices are top of the line.
I didn't come here looking for bargains.
That's a good start. Want to tell me about it?
Okay. There's this guy who owns a restaurant. He took all his savings and decided to give L.A. a better hamburger. He opened a place in a good location in the financial district, but then they started tearing up the street in front of his place. It stayed torn up for months. The place never got off the ground. So this owner is running in the red. He doesn't know how he's going to pay back his creditors. The world dealt him some bad cards. Maybe could deal him a stroke of luck so he could get well.
A little spontaneous combustion, maybe?
After hours. After hours when the place is deserted. Nobody should get hurt.
Sounds doable.
This owner is in kind of a hurry.
Look, I'm busy tonight. I don't like jobs to come too close together. Maybe we'll talk in a week.
Come on, Lou. You can't let this affect your work.
I'm not letting it affect my work. I'm letting it affect my lunch.
You know, if I were in your place, you'd be telling me how that's all just part of being a journalist. How Frank knew the risks he was taking, and most of all, how important the story was. That the welfare of the community was better served because the Tribune was able to print the truth.
I'd say all that.
But better.
Would I be saying it to cheer you up? Or would I mean it?
It wouldn't matter. Oh.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I exposed for the swan. Let the background wash out.
Oh, look at the exhaustion on that poor man's face. Because he's been through a battle. That picture says war better than any action shot. Was it Vietnam?
Pasadena. That guy was the lead in a porno movie on his break.
He was not.
You're right. Hello.
Get your butt out of that building. I'm telling you now.
Who is this? Donovan?
I mean it now.
Hey.
What was that?
Some weirdo. Are empty.
Maybe that's why.
Whatever. Nobody complains. That lasagna smells like it's burning.
Another half hour. I'm just hungry.
Debbie, turn the oven off. I think the building's on fire. That's what that call was. Come on, let's go. Come on.
What about the other apartments?
You just get out. I'll knock on the doors. Everybody, wake up! Get out! The building's on fire! Everybody out! Fast!
Fire! There's a fire in the building! There's a fire! Everybody get out as fast as you can! Fire!
Out! The building's on fire! Get out! The building's on fire! Go! Now, fast! Get out! Wake up! Get out! The building's on fire! The building's on fire! 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 Wake up! Get out! The building's on fire! Everybody out! Fast! Fast! Out!
Get out quick! Fire! There's a fire in the building! Get out!
Animal, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. How come you're here?
The nightman got the report on the fire. When he checked the address, he realized it was your building. Then he called me, and I brought a friend. Another building owned by Howard Davis.
Oh, somebody named Fisher owns the building.
Marlene Fisher.
Yeah.
Davis's secretary.
I know Lou.
Lou? One of the guys in my building, Mr. Norman. He didn't make it out.
Hey, Captain Gurney?
Yeah.
They say you're the one that gave the fire department report to the newspapers. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, my name's Mike Carlson. You don't know me, but I just want to tell you something. The guys in the line have been talking a lot about you. Really appreciate what you did.
Thank you.
You've gotten better, if that's possible.
I get a lot more practice now. I don't go to lunch with the guys in the office anymore, so I come here.
Still that bad, huh?
To them, I'm a traitor.
Frank, the city comes up a winner because it got an arson task force. I look great because the Trib dug up a big story. All the bad parts happen to you.
If I had to do it over again, I'd do the same thing. I think.
You're not exactly making me feel better.
I don't have to make you feel better. The task force is beginning, but Howard Davis and guys like him are still out there. You've got to keep working on that story.
You can count on it. And Frank, I want you to know that...
Your servant.
This is Mike Wallace. Pope John Paul II, a moral authority or a master politician? The crisis in the Catholic Church on an all-new 20th century.
Tonight, only on A&E.
Now, U.S. and Mexican detectives join forces to break up an international drug smuggling ring. Join us for Police Story, next on A&E.